Okay, am I on? Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be on by now. I set the self timer. Anyway, it's Friday. I think around the 4th or the 5th of December already. I wanted to do some vids yesterday, but never got the opportunity. Woke up this morning around 4. I couldn't get back to sleep, and so I started researching gasification, where they used gasification, you know, these charcoal burners and all that, to make producer gas during the war. When there was no gas, they had to make their own fuel. So before we left here this morning, I already had about 3.5, 4 hours study into it. Then went to Starbucks and did another 3 hours of research. And sometimes you get up, you don't know how your day's going to go. And but if you're walking in the light as He is in the light, you know, God will direct your footsteps. And it seems that He's been expediting this gasification to understand it. So I've been, you know, doing my homework and assimilating the information. There's a lot to gasification and pyrolysis. It's something you don't learn overnight. It's a lifetime of learning. But you know, God can expedite that learning curve into a fraction of the time, and that's how He works with me. And when He sets me in one direction, the learning just comes. You know, but you still have to do your homework. But you know, you can see past the surface and understand the principles. And once you understand the principles of how things work, then you can take those building blocks and you can begin building. But anyway, I'd like just to bring the update on the joke pipe. Yesterday, we were in the shop and I was able to make a little conical cone with this shear device where you put your metal in and you crank it and pull on this handle, and you can actually cut your sheet metal. Much handier than having to do it by hand, right? So anyway, I took a piece of paper, made a cone, made the pattern for it, and traced that on the sheet metal, and I was able to cut it out, then form the cone, then my friend here, he spot welded it, so I got that far. The cone's about this long, about 3 inches, 3.5, 4, and maybe a couple inches across. So I still need to put the 4 lines from the center out at 60 degrees to give you the 6 points, and then just do offsets on each one to draw in the fins, and then I cut the fins to make a counterclockwise spin. So I'm going to try this first, and I also have an old wood bit, one of those bits, 3/4 inch bits that they use for drilling holes through studs. It's about this long, and I like to try that. And I know that the enhancing the vortex is going to work, and you know, it was about a day ago I was looking at video 200, I believe, around just a little over 1 minute, about 1 minute, 1.5 seconds, so about 61, between 61 and 62 seconds. And I went through it on slow speed, and I actually saw a funnel where the flame was coming out here. You know, the flame was about 4 or 5 inches across, and there's a funnel that went up like this to the top of the door frame and disappeared. But it came up like this, just straight up like this, and it's probably, I would say, about 8 inches at the top, and you could see it swirling like this, and that's without any kind of swirl device in the joe pipe. So with the performance that Rob got with his small little joe pipe unit, And if that same effect can be accomplished, duplicated in the 24-inch Joe pipe, then you're going to see something. You might just get a big fire funnel coming out like this, then twice your spin. You ought to expect the fire funnel to be something like this, and taper down to about maybe ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch. And so that's where that's going to. And increasing the vortex actually pulls in the energy. So instead of all the heat going out, some of it's pulled back inside the unit to where it's condensed, and it becomes very, very hot. The core of the level 3 flame is much hotter than just the outside. The exhaust is more or less the exothermic reaction coming out, but the endothermic reaction is happening within the core. And so the next thing to do is I took everything apart, stripped everything down right to the fan. So there's no, I removed the steel funnel and took off all the tape, pulled out the 1.5-inch piece of PVC insert, and I was able to take another length of pipe, put it in there, and just have to grind it down a little bit so it slips into the back of the fan housing, and then weld the Joe pipe and the air induction pipe together. May have to chop it off a little bit, and that way I can pull it out, slip in the swirl device into the back of the fan, and try to find out where the best point is. So that'll perfect that part of it. And the third part would be to wrap up the Joe pipe, to put on the coil, because I want to have make sure the coil's on there so I can superheat steam, and wrap it up with tin foil, and wrap insulation around it, and slip on a 4-inch pipe, probably around about 32 inches over top of that, and then wrap another couple inches of insulation around the 4-inch pipe, then slip on a 8-inch piece of stovepipe, and that you're going to have about 3 inches of insulation around the Joe pipe in order to hold in the heat. So again, this is from what Rob saw. This does affect the flame, and the reason for this is to raise up the velocity of the vortex spin, and at a certain point, I'm hoping that the level 3 flame will reach the cracking point of steam around 4,000 degrees. And if this can be reached, then you truly have a water burning device, where you just make the steam, put it in there, and you got your energy. And this application could be used right through the entire gasification pyrolysis fields. Okay, I'll end here. I don't want to go past my mark here, and tonight I hope to actually show you what I've been talking about now, what I'm doing. Okay.